Hello and welcome to Security Interviews. Today we'll be interviewing Michael Delamere. Michael is the president of Premier Risk Solutions in Seattle, Washington, a global risk mitigation company. He's going to be sharing with us today his thoughts and his holistic view of the security market. So Michael, thank you for interviewing with Security Interviews today. Tell me a little bit about your background in the security industry.
Well, I started in 1998 and started out as a security officer in uniform, believe it or not, and worked for a company called First Security Services Corporation out of Boston, where I'm originally from. I worked my way up through the ranks over the course of the last 16 years, from site supervisor, account manager, branch manager, went through acquisition, a company called Securitas. They also acquired Burns and Pinkerton in about the same time frame, around 2000 era. Was able to transition from Boston over to California, where I worked for a period of about a year, where I made another lateral transition back to the East Coast, New York City. Worked there for about 3 years. Went from branch manager to senior branch manager role in that period of time. It offered a promotional opportunity and moved back to the West Coast to Seattle and was a contract security director over at Microsoft for the company, and went to a company called SRC Private Security for about a year and a half out of Kirkland as their director of operations, and had the opportunity to get a promotion again and moved back down to the Bay Area, where I spent the better part of about 7 years' time, and moved back to Seattle for the last 2 years, and had the opportunity to move from regional managing director for the Central Northwest region for Pinkerton over into my own organization called Premier Risk Solutions, LLC, which I founded earlier in 2014.
Now you were a director for Pinkerton, is that correct?
Yes, I started out as a director of operations and just focused on Northern California, and over a period of a year and a half got promoted to regional managing director, and was responsible for about 8 states. That morphed and transitioned over several years period of time into 14 and ultimately 22 before I left. So that constituted the greater part of the western United States, including Alaska and Hawaii.
So what do you do for Premier Risk Solutions?
With Premier Risk Solutions, I'm the president, basically in charge of all day-to-day operations, oversee the mission, the vision, and ultimately where we're headed in the future for the organization.
What do you see as the security industry's largest challenges in 2014 and beyond?
Well, if you look at the World Economic Forum number 4 on that list for CEOs to address this year in 2014 is cybersecurity related issues. I think that is going to be where a lot of the challenges reside, still is today, and it will be for a number of 5 to 10 years forthcoming. That is where the criminal element today seems to monetize a lot of the opportunities that are out there. A lot of victims and not a lot of talent per se to tackle that issue out there, whether it be in the public sector and law enforcement or the private sector. It's a burgeoning problem in an industry that is going to be a subset to what is out there now today.
So would you say it's that Premier Risk Solutions looks at risk holistically over physical and information technology?
Absolutely. Risk perspective as far as Premier Risk Solutions is concerned is holistic. Whether it be in the physical, the network, the intellectual property side, technology side, it's the threats. Threats can be anything from the criminal element to demographics to tangible, intangible, all the above.
So that's a good segue into my next question, Michael, which is, what do you believe is the largest growth area in security?
Growth, I believe, in the next 5 to 10 years is going to come from a lot of the technology side. I noticed in the last 3 to 5 years period, there's been a significant uptick in security technologies. The guards, gates, and guns mentality seems to be dissipating, and people are turning to technology in order to solve and resolve a lot of their issues that are out there today. Obviously, technology changes fairly frequently. Every 6 to 12 months, there's a new iteration of products and design, and I see that being a significant area of growth within our sector of the industry here in the next 5 to 10 years.
So Michael, you see a change also in risk mitigation field these coming years as well?
Absolutely. I would say that a lot of the threats aren't necessarily, say over the past decade, they've been a lot of physical security related. The war on terror, for example, after 9/11, the crisis we had with the economy, that kind of brought upon a lot of the cyber security issues that we have out there today and really brought it to the forefront. And that segment of the industry, I think, is where risk mitigation is really going to be focused on from the CSO perspective over the course of the next 5 to 10 years.
So Michael, how do you see Premier Risk Solutions taking shape in this volatile world that you have kind of outlined thus far in order to stay ahead of the curve for tomorrow?
I see a lot of the opportunities that we're going to be pursuing in the subsequent few years' time focused with our energies in support mechanisms both on the technology side as well as on the resource side. You can never erase people from the equation. People always have to be part of that holistic process of things. Computers are great, technology is great, helpful tool, but it's just that, it's a tool, and people need to use the tools in order to make them work to the best of their abilities. And I think that Premier Risk is going to continue to evolve a lot of these tools that are going to be available hopefully in this commercial marketplace in the coming years to come.
So in the perspective of a worldwide organization, how does Premier Risk Solutions set up in other countries?
Premier Risk has relationships in 120 different countries. That is through networked resources that we've built relationships with over a test of time. I've been in the industry now for a little over 16 years and been in multiple different varieties of cities, as I've outlined in previous discussion here today. And through a lot of the global work that I've been involved with, both on protective services side, investigative side, consulting side for risk, I've fostered those relationships, and I'll continue to foster more of those types of relationships as time goes on. Through some of the other resources that we bring on to Premier Risk Solutions, they will have their own network and resources available as well. And those are the types of people that I'll be looking to hire as we move forward with the organization, with skill sets and talents, people who are networked, have resources, and are time tested themselves.
So really, Premier Risk Solutions has leveraged itself into the security market as a global security consulting management company, more so than the typical security company.
That's accurate. Yes, we hold security and investigative agency licenses to be able to do the guards, gates, and guns, type of mentality. However, we are solely focusing the majority of our energies on the consultancy side to enhance a lot of the services within the assessment, the design, penetration testing, network testing, forensics capacities, those varieties of services. That will be the future focus of Premier Risk.
So keeping in mind, Michael, that you started really at an entry-level position, you have a unique perspective to talk to younger folks that are just starting out in the criminal justice programs or in security management education. What would you say to those folks as they're looking at the risk mitigation field?
Well, I certainly believe in, and I'm a standing testament to it, from working your way through the ranks in order to understand what your underlings have gone through and are going through on a regular daily basis. It helps make you a better manager of people and processes. Having gone through that, I would say where the most value is going to lie with people just coming out of the academia field and into the industry and the profession as a whole. Network. Certainly get to know people that are in this industry. Try to find some mentorship through folks who are a little bit more seasoned in the field and can guide you through some of these waterways that can be voluminous. There is a lot of different opportunity out there just within our profession as a whole, and having spoken with a number of different colleges, universities, so on and so forth out in the marketplace, I think that they have an opportunity to certainly enhance their service offerings and capabilities with what they can share with the student base. And I think if folks, much like myself, that are involved in the industry can become more active at that level with the universities and share some of their stories from over the years and experiences over the years, it's going to help broaden the horizons of a lot of these students that are coming out and shape some of the workplace of the future. So I think that networking is going to be key for these folks with that ability today to enter the workforce and become a player in the industry over a quick period of time.
Well, thank you, Michael, for taking this time with Security Interviews. We really look forward to working with you and talking to you in the future and seeing how fruitful Premier Risk Solutions is over the years.
Well, thanks, Chris. Appreciate the time today, and we're certainly looking forward to the next interview.